He just moved it. I thought that was But it's 24/7 too. It's 25. We basically, if we would have started this thing, we would have got $5, 12 times. I'm gonna go look at it right now. This cool. So this $6 a month is crazy. It's crazy. That's the problem. It's so good. Yeah, that's what she told us. I haven't seen my video. I did text they changed the family plan too. You can't be under them. Like, you know how before you could be under someone that was cheaper? You can't do it no more unless you're a spouse, bro. So now he can't be under Isaac. He has to get his name membership. got hit with a cancellation. That's what I told him. So it's been on for a year. Don't let him into the cancellation fee. Or tell him, or lie. Maybe just tell me I'm out of town. That's what I'm doing. I don't need all the rules. I just need a couple of squat racks, couple of bench racks, and some machines, bro. Machine, yeah, that's the like. But I don't need 3 rules, bro. It is cool. Because you can think about it. That's why I don't want to get back to the squad with rack of decisions. Brother, I'm not afraid. Anybody Oh yeah. This is also I did it also. And we don't know. Like they have pictures. No, I was saying I was shooting out online, but you can sign up online. But then I was like, but it was like, nah, you know, and they have like multiple gyms. You can go to everywhere in the gym. For some reason, the money they want to that's why I was switch it. This guy that I can see excuse me. I want to do something good. Yeah, let's start something. Oh yeah. Right now. And then that's one. I can say because I'm one of the guys who were the first recognized. I'm not the yes, but
2 months ago. When I come, honestly, again, I don't understand. I mean, direct the community of the Islamic Center. I don't have to get paid. That's a crime. I mean, you're taking it away from the people who need it. The people, I mean, you can look at money to help the people who need, not for the market. You know, it just every seed it has a cost. Every seed it has its worth. I mean, they're talking about if I want to be the vice president, I want to get some action. I mean, when I was talking to Sheikh, I was really shocked to see how much money they offer. That's why it's a shame these folks that are going, which is a long time ago. I was busy making money, I was busy in this how to survive. I had a big family, I had big responsibilities, so I couldn't join them, so I got a feast. They kept me home because I decided I'm here. I want to build that community or I want to do that. Passed away. He has holes in his clothes. He wasn't saying he wasn't saying happily. So I mean, this is how we should teach our kids. We teach them not teaching how much money we could make. And that's what they do. You know, that boy's I don't have to accept. You know what I mean? I'll make the money. I don't have to put me in community work. Not the one who comes to overseas, number one. Please. Continue with hope. Since the government decided, okay, destroying every family who lived in these abandoned houses. We decided, okay, you don't have a home, you have to leave. If you don't leave, you have to get killed. So this was you are worried, you are scared about your family, yourself, you have to leave. So when you leave, come to the United States, come to Europe, anywhere, you know, I came to the United States, I had a choice. I could pick and choose instead of work. So, you know, little opportunity was
it's crazy to say 2 hours talking with a girl yesterday on the airport about government
One 30. 30, 30.
30, okay.
Oh, here, it's the 3 years.
Oh,
Four.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Oh, veterans, yes. Grand view. Amiga minha, vai cantar.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة أعاذنا الله منها وإياكم. أما بعد يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. إخواني, our khutbah today is going to be around at-taqwa. Be conscious of Allah Azza wa Jal. At-taqwa هي اسم من أسماء المراتب العبادة لله, وهي أن يجعل العبد بينه وبين الله وقاية من عذابه وسخطه وغضبه, وأن يعمل العمل الصالح رجاء لله, وأن يترك الأعمال السيئات خوفا من عذاب الله. Taqwa, its name, one of the names of the levels of worshiping Allah Azza wa Jalla. It's one of the best levels. It's a protection, a firewall between you and Allah's wrath, Allah's banishment. And it comes when you want to do something wrong, you remember Allah Azza wa Jalla. When the shaitan comes to you and he whispers and wants you to do something wrong, at-taqwa comes in between you and that bad deed. It tells you, hey, watch out, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you. Don't do it. If you stop doing that bad thing for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla, that's called taqwa. You are making that barrier between you and that bad thing. And when you want to do a good thing and taqwa comes to you and you do that good thing for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla, expecting Allah's mercy, reward, that's taqwa. What gets out of there is that if you do this good deed for show off, it's not going to be taqwa. The taqwa is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered all the ummahs, all the nations that came before us and us. وَلَقَدْ وَصَّيْنَا الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ وَإِيَّاكُمْ أَنِ اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala advised the people before us and us to have taqwa of Allah Azza wa Jalla, to have barrier between our bad deeds and us. What's the benefit of at-taqwa? إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only accepts the good deeds itself only of those who have taqwa. If you don't have taqwa and you're doing it for show off, riyah, it's not going to be accepted, your good deeds. And your bad deeds going to be compiled. So at-taqwa, it was asked Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. Some of the Sahaba asked him, they said, what's taqwa? And he said, if you are going through a place that has a lot of thorn, like something that will harm you, and you have to go through, what you do? And the other person said, I would grab my clothes up and look where I'm putting my steps, my foot. If is it safe to put my foot there, or is it harm? and then you go around the obstacles, the dangers of that state, that area. And then Umar said, radiallahu anhu, that's taqwa. Like when you wake up in the morning and you have plans to do, you look at it first. Is this thing halal or haram? Is this thing admissible or forbidden? Is this thing allowed? You have to look all of that. But if you just wake up and you say, لقمة الحجر ولو لقمة الصبح ولو كان حجر, like as they say. In Somali we say, eat whatever that's not eating you. Whatever that's not going to eat you, eat. It means whatever that comes in front of you, just take it. Don't look into it if it's allowed or forbidden. The taqwa comes in place when you are about to do something, whether it is good or bad. If it is good, you're doing it for the sake of Allah, expecting Allah's mercy, Allah's reward, Allah's acceptance. If it is bad, you stop doing it, afraid of Allah's wrath, Allah's ibad and adab. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that each and every one of us will go through Jahannam. Because the sirat, the path, the road to Jannah goes through Jahannam. After you are, like, all your good deeds and bad deeds were checked, you may have tons of good deeds in your book, but they were not for the sake of Allah. They were for something else, like riyah, or like to make money, or it was not, you didn't do it for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And then when you go through that road going through Jahannam, Jahannam has hooks around that street. It's taking down everyone who didn't do what he did for the sake of Allah. And Allah is saying, كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا. Allah is swearing that it's done, that every one of you will go through that road. And that's a disaster, going through Jahannam. It depends. Everyone's good deeds will come into play. Some will go through like the lightning. They won't even feel it. And we all know the speed of light. Some will go as fast as the horse running. Some will go walking, some running, some zahfan. They're gonna be like crawling with their behind on the ground. And those hooks are just like cutting pieces of his body. Some will fall into Jahannam because of their deeds. They were not through taqwa. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. Then I will save those who had taqwa. وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. And we leave the dhalimin, the transgressors, inside the hellfire, jithiyya, like sitting, squatting there on their knees. So what does that tell us? That taqwa is very important. No matter what you do, you might pray 5 times a day, but you don't have taqwa of Allah Azza wa Jalla. That's going to nullify your deeds. And the Sahaba Ridwanullah Ajma'in, they have the taqwa, they practice. The way they practiced was, everything they are going to do, if they don't know if this is right or wrong, they used to ask the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who do we have today in that position? We have the Sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Quran. But it looks like we are like drifting away from the Quran and the Hadith. You may not hear an'ana min al-hadith. You may not hear any hadith translated into your language for over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And the human being's heart is built to forget. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ فَلَا تَسْمَعُونَ فَلَا تَتَذَكَّرُونَ فَلَا. It's coming too many times in the Quran. Till the Rasul says, إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. Like, we are like leaving the Quran behind. Whether it comes for tahfid, whether it comes for the meaning of the Quran. So how do you act upon something that you don't know, something that you forget, something that you have no idea of it? And that brings us living into this fast-moving world. The riba becomes something normal. The interest becomes something normal. To the limit that some of the so-called ulama are admitting people to deal with riba. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. He will go and buy a whole business. He will go and buy a whole land. And he says, 21% interest. It's not a big deal. So you go through, he's going to buy a big car, a truck, or like something valuable with some points of riba, which is, it become normal. If you have taqwa, before you sign that deal, you have to ask yourself, is this halal or haram? So I ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to bring us back to the Sunnah of the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, to understanding of the Quran. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Rasulillah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. الحمد لله ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد. التقوى يا إخوان is the best thing that the slave of Allah Azza wa Jalla could do. And there's little example of how the Sahaba Ridwanullah Ajma'in and Tabi'in used to practice taqwa. There was a business that went through between two men at the time of the Sahaba Ridwanullah Ajma'in. One of them sell his farm to another one. So the buyer started cultivating the land, and he found kens, a chest full of gold. And he went to his brother, he said, hey, I bought the land, not the chest of the gold. So this is what I found in your land. And the other one said, no, I sell you the land and whatever is in there. And they start pushing each other. You take, you take, you take. And then someone said, why don't you go to the court? That's taqwa. Today, if I find something in the backyard of my house, the house I just bought, you think I'm going to call the ex-owner and say, hey, I found some gold in here? When I was in Kenya, if you drop your stuff and somebody says, lucky me, it's my lucky day, just takes. Then the qadi, the judge, said to the one who bought the land, he said, well, you bought the land and whatever is in the land is yours. And he said, no, I'm not going to accept it. The other one says, no, I'm not going to accept it. The qadi didn't know what to do with that money. Lot of money, lot of gold. And he asked, do you have any children? One said, I have a boy. The other one said, I have a girl at the age of marriage. And then they married them together, and he said, give all this money, all this gold to your offsprings. Let them use it for the life. So they agreed. And in that kind of action shows you how much taqwa they have, the Sahaba Ridwanullah Ajma'in. How much fear of Allah they had at the time of the Quran was coming down, at the time of the Hadith was new in their hearts. But the more we drift from those two, masters, we are losing taqwa. So We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make us min al-muttaqeen. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to bring us back to Islam. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to perfect us in our actions. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to give us the power to turn away from any haram. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla not to punish us for our ignorance. Allahumma la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Sallallahu ala nabiyyina wa maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam wa aqimis salam.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
استووا لله واعتدلوا. If a kid can fill that position, yeah, you go for it. Yeah. استووا صفوفكم فإن تسوية الصفوف من تمام الصلاة. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر يوم تبلى السرائر فما له من قوة ولا ناصر والسماء ذات الرجع والأرض ذات الصدع إنه لقول فصل وما هو بالهزل إنهم يكيدون كيدا وأكيد كيدا فمهل الكافرين أمهلهم رويدا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. If you park in the middle, try to make sure you move your car faster than others so you don't block anybody. And we still like supporting our brothers and sisters in Palestine. This is your guy if you want to send any money there and help them, inshallah. So whatever you can, 20, 10, 100,000, just come and see the money, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Should I stand outside?
Yes.
Mama, kissy, mama. Kissy, mama.